Chapter 1, where a Mimikyu was kidnapped. The Mimikyu slowly opened his eyes. His back was hurting bad, as if someone hit him really hard from behind. Accordingly to the pain and from just waking up from being knocked out, he started to moan and rubbed the hurting area with his right hand. Still underneath his cloth. "Looks who has just woken up, guys," a deep male voice said. The Mimikyu tried to look up. That's when he realized he was lying on the ground and someone has tied the lower end of his disguise with a rope. He was trapped in his own piece of clothing and looked like a yellow packed-in bonbon. "What is going on?" the Mimikyu asked while wiggling on the ground. Someone grabbed him and leaned him against a wall. He could now see that he was in a cave, and there were 3 other Pokémon with him. A Hitmonlee, a Vanillish and a small Gurish Iced. The Gurish Iced, who was Dion that just picked him up, sat near him, while the other 2 looked down from above. "We just kidnapped you, and now we wait for our ransom money," said the Gurish Iced with light male voice, almost sounding female. "And if she don't," the Vanillish giggled and at the Hitmonlee next to him. "Don't worry. She will," answered the Gurish Iced. "But if not," the Vanillish giggled again. "Wait, what?" said Mimikyu surprised. "Kidnapped? Who do you mean with she, and who even are you?" The Gurish Iced stood up and joined the other 2. "Allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Andre," the Gurish Iced answered. He pointed to the Vanillish. "This is Freezy. Or at least that's what he is always telling everyone." The Hitmonlee stepped forward and looks into Mimikyu fake face with angry eyes. "And I'm Nabori, the leader of this group. Remember the name?" He was the deep voice from the beginning. "And your name is Mo," said the Vanillish to the Mimikyu. "Yes. We were watching you for some time. You and your girlfriend. And Nabori here gave you a really hard kick from behind with his famous blaze kick. You didn't saw that coming." Freezy bursted out in laughter but was quickly silenced by a slap from Andre. "I don't know what you mean." "What girl?" asked Mo. "That's Sylvian. That cutie you hang around with." "You are friends with her," answered Nabori angrily. Mo looked at them. They knew he was about to say something. But he was still looking at them. "What?" asked Nabori, still angry. "Aaron is a dude." The 3 looked at him in surprise. Nobori then asked, "Are you sure?" "He just looks girly and likes how he looks." "And before you ask, yes, he is gay," said Mo, who was now more annoyed than scared by them. "By the way, how much is my ransom?" "Exactly 20,000 PD in the next 3 days," answered Andre. "Or else," giggled Freezy again. Mo moaned loud in anger and annoyance. "Did you even watch us? Did you watch Aaron? He's poor. I'm the one who always pays for him." The 3 looked at each other in confusion. "The joke's is on you. I really think you kidnapped the wrong guy. There is no way he will get 20,000 PD in 3 days. You really should have kidnapped him instead of me." "Well," said Andre. "But now we have you. Accept it." Nobari grabbed Mo by one of his fake ears. "And pray he will pay on time." Andre looked at Freezy, who was just about to say something. "No," Andre said to Freezy. At this point, Mo knew he would die. That's it then, he thought. Kidnapped and murdered by 3 morons in a cave or Zeus knows where. And by that Vanillish they will take their time doing it. Aaron probably don't even know by now that I'm missing. There are still many things I wanted to do. Meeting the love of my life, starting a family, getting revenge on all those kids back in school. He suddenly had an idea. "Excuse me? I'd like to make suggestion." The trio had his attention. "How about you let me go? This is not worth of your time and we all already know there will be no money. You untie me, I go and I will never tell anyone what happened here. I'm bad at remembering names and faces anyway." "Okay," The trio looked at him, like he just told them a bad joke. He had another idea. You need a fourth member? Now they looked annoyed. I'm quiet. Mo didn't know how much time has passed by now. 2 hours at least. Freezy stood at the cave entrance and waited. Andre was sitting next to Mo and always kept an eye on him. Meanwhile Nobori was training by kicking the air over and over again. The sounds of Nobori's kick was the only thing he could hear. From his point of view, Mo could only see a tunnel, fading into black. So, Mo tried to start a conversation. Are you already on the police wanted list or is this your first time? This is our first kidnapping, answered Nobori, still kicking. Successful, added Andre. You were the one who let her go. Nobori yelled and stopped kicking the air. Andre pointed at Frezzy. He tried to make a popsicle out of her. Also, you were the one who let that other girl get away. She said she needed to pee. What should I do? Watch her? Yes. Mo wished he never asked. Excuse me? Mo interrupted the argument. In that blackmail letter or how you informed my girlfriend, is there anything that says you will not hurt my until you get your money? Only that we won't kill you. Crippling, yes, answered Freezy from the other side of the cave. All right, answered Mo, who now knew should not say something to them he had in his mind. Suddenly Freezy shouted, quiet. Someone is coming. Andre's and Nobori's arguing stopped. Probably our ransom, answered Nobori. Wow, that was fast, Mo thought. Then he remembered, Aaron had entrance to Mo's house or probably knew where he hid his money. Should he be thankful or angry at Aaron about this? Probably thankful. There are 3 of them, shouted Freezy. 3? Why 3? asked Nobori. Why are you so loud when you told us to be quiet? Asked Andre Freezy. We can hear and see you clearly, said a young female voice. A Cyndaquil, a Riolu and a Voltorb entered the cave. They all had a badge attached to their chests, a red scarf around their neck, in Voltorb's case around its body, and the Cyndaquil, who seemed to be the leader, was carrying a bag. Who are you? Asked Andre with an angry but still surprised tone. The Cyndaquil stood forth. We are Adventure Team Red. And we are here to rescue that Mimikyu and to arrest you. Smart move, thought Mo. Aaron went to the Adventurer Guild to ask for help. Nobori grabbed Mo's fake ear again and pointed an iron thorn at his neck, ready to stab. One step closer or he gets it, Nobori threatened. Mo knew this would do nothing, except damaging his cloth. I would like to tell Nobori this, but at this moment it was too risky. It was a serious situation. Surrender and nobody gets hurt, said the Voltorb in a very robotic voice. Freezy. Get them, Nobori yelled. That moment many small lightings came out of the Voltorb towards Nobori, who then started to shake uncontrollably and let the iron thorn and Mo fall. At the same time Freezy shot an ice beam out of his mouth towards Voltorb, who has just finished its thunder wave. In a spectacular way, Cyndaquil threw himself in front of Voltorb, taking the hit. He didn't took much damage from it. Get out of my way, shouted the Vanillish. He prepared for his next attack, but Riolu then jump-kicked him from the side and he fell to the ground. Andre, do something, yelled Nobori, still shaking, to Andre, who was just standing there and watching in the meantime. Andre created a shadow ball with his hand and threw it to the Voltorb. That this, Andre shouted. The shadow ball hit the Voltorb directly and unsuspected. Cyndaquil in front of it noticed and fired a beam of flames to the Gurge Iced. Meanwhile, Riolu ran to the still paralyzed Hitmonlee and gave him a kick in the stomach. Still not being able to do anything at the moment, Nobori fell to the ground, grunting in his pain. The Riolu turned to Mo. Are you all right? She asked. He was the young female voice from before. I guess, answered Mo. He was relieved now. Now he was safe. The Railu gave him an oran berry. Here. Eat this. Please untie me first, answered Mo. And Railu did. Mo was finally free now. He could feel the rocky ground underneath him. He took the berry from Railu with his hand that appeared underneath his cloth and disappeared again with the berry. He didn't really like the taste of it, but it was all right for the moment. Thank you so much, he said to Railu. Without one of them noticing, Nobori stood up and gave Railu a very hard kick from the side. She flew through the air and smashed into the wall near the cave entrance. Nobori looked down on Mo with narrowed. He could see the anger in his eyes. I'm going to squash you under my foot. Then, after we're done with those brats, we give your remains to your boyfriend to tell him a lesson don't to mess with us. Mo ran as fast as he could past the Hitmonlee, crying for help over and over again while being chased by Nobori. Come here, you little rat! Screamed Nobori. Somebody give me a hand with this guy? I have my own problems right now, shouted Andre, who was trying hard to not get hit by the Cyndaquil's fire. Meanwhile, Freezy had the upper hand on Voltorb. I'm busy too. The Voltorb suddenly started to glow bright. At this moment it was already too late for everyone nearby. There was a loud bang, little rocks blew all over the cave that was now filled with smoke and dust. Freezy? Are you okay? Andre called out. No response. Where is he? Where is he? Yelled Nobori. He couldn't see anything because of all the smoke. Meanwhile, Mo sneaked up on Andre. He didn't know the Mimikyu was there. Mo himself couldn't let them get away with kidnapping him that easily. They needed to feel his wrath. Mo filled his claws with dark energy and jumped high towards the Gurgeist's face. His eyes glowed bright as he looked at him and screamed, I'm not afraid of you. He then slid his sharp fingers through his face, leaving a nasty-looking scratch wound on his cheek. My face. My beautiful face. Andre cried out in pain. He was then hit by another flamethrower from Cyndaquil and was knocked out. The smoke slowly vanished, revealing a smoking and knocked out Voltorb and Freezy, who was also knocked out and had smoke coming out of his body. Nobori found Mo and the Cyndaquil, now that he could see clear again. Nobori ran towards them. A quick flamethrower from Cyndaquil didn't seem to help slowing him, let alone knocking him out. He jumped in the air and landed on the small Cyndaquil with his left foot. Cyndaquil let out a cry of pain. Let him go, shouted Mo, scratching the Hitmonlee's right leg, which did little damage. Nobori picked Mo up and squeezed him in his hand. See that little adventurer down there? This will be you in 10 seconds. Railu, who had gotten in the meantime, ran towards Nobori, holding a small energy ball in her hands. Before Nobori could react, Railu smacked her force palm into him. Nobori, still holding Mo, flew right into the cave wall, making a Hitmonlee-shaped crater on the impact. Are you still alright? Asked Railu, exhausted. Now I'm not sure. Mo answered. He was still held by Nobori, even though he was now out of commission. What about you? Nothing an oran berry can't fix. Am I right? Laughed the Cyndaquil. He then lifted his hand and the Railu gave him a high five.